Now I'd kind of like to pivot over to a 5-day project that you have just worked on out in California with Sandy Carson and some friends.
Yeah, your art film.
Sandy and friends.
Yeah. California Golde. Sandy Carson is a photographer and now filmmaker.
He is an artiste.
Yeah, based here in Austin, Texas. Good friend of ours. And yeah, tell us a little bit about this project and how it came to fruition. You know, you just recently posted something on your Instagram page, one of your many Instagram pages, we should say. UltraRomance Mach 2. I'm going to read here that it's always notable when the subjects enhance the environment rather than contrast from it. And I feel like this film really tries to capture that sentiment, at least in a visual aspect. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of how this project came to fruition and what the basis is for it?
Yeah, I've seen a number of, I've seen a number of cycling, like bike packing, bike touring films, adventure bicycle films, and like the past that since the popularity has grown, since you did that incredible article in Bicycling Magazine with that guy on the cover, his name UltraRomance.
Yeah, it feels like years ago, but
wow, it's really exploded since then. Good, nicely done. I just feel like they all kind of miss the boat in a way. Whereas, for me, I'm not pushing sport. I'm pushing lifestyle, and I truly believe that I truly believe bicycles will save the world, and that's the only way. It's not the only way. It's one of many ways. But I think I see a lot of potential there, and I just know from a meditative standpoint, or of just time in the saddle and pedaling and experiencing new places and people, and just the bicycle lifestyle, and especially more notably the touring bicycle lifestyle, is incredibly unique in being able to balance the old and the new, and these really, we're going into some pretty. It's a weird time to be alive. Really, really strange time to be kind of between like a really old guy and a millennial. That's how I feel. And we're all experiencing this at once. And how do we deal with it? And people are dealing with it in a lot of different ways. Some more constructive than others. For me, the bicycle is just the way that it. As I touched on before, the bicycle lifestyle. So this film was much less focused on the sport and way more focused on the lifestyle. Much like how surf films kind of switched over from being film of like a big wave competition to just straight lifestyle, and that's and it has a different feel to it, and it has a much more I don't know. I felt this film, I should mention, is filmed on Kodak Super 8. And has a really cool old feel to it, much like what you would find in an older surf movie or skate movie or BMX film or something like that. And so we went out and made a lifestyle movie. I think it's an instant classic. So
I mean, we got to see an advanced cut of it, and I mean, it's about being out in the wilderness and spending time with your friends and having an adventure. I love the kind of behind the scenes story you gave us of finding, well, I don't want to spoil the ending, but finding a beautiful natural feature that appears at the end of the film, and just you can kind of see the joy in the faces of the models, as you call them, who appear in the film.
High-end models.
I mean, just coming across a natural beauty and just kind of, just having the time and space to enjoy it with people that you want to.
Really what it's about to, when you're moving, linear, like we've got to make it here by tonight, which often I think people bite off. I'm blessed to not have much of a time schedule, so it takes how long ever it takes for me, and so, to look at it like we're just going to blow right through and ride as fast as we can. We have to get in like 80 or 100 miles today or whatever, and the other, like my side of it would be, hey, let's enjoy today. We're going to ride. We're just going to ride our bikes until it's dark, until we find a good campsite. And whatever happens in between, like just roll with it. We don't have to be anywhere. We just need to at least get in like 20 miles today. You know?
Yeah, and you let the pieces fall where they may. I
Yeah.
think it's important to mention that this was all done completely analog, from the Kodak Super 8 film to, you know, there were no Google Maps. You used a paper map and plotted out the route and didn't really know what you'd find along the way. Didn't look at Yelp reviews of natural features.
Or even people like pulling out their iPhones,
Oh,
you
man,
know, and
that was so
Instagramming
cool.
everything
Yeah.
the whole time, because it's so hard to even find spaces, especially when you're somewhere like California where you're not wired in, where you know
Yeah.
you can't shoot up photos to Instagram or wherever else, and it does in some ways detract from what you're trying to do.
Yeah,
So.
and we're already cyborgs with our phones. You know, like you know, it's just not implanted in our brains, but it's right there. And so you know, it's even for me the temptation to look at your phone, it's there. You know, and to take that away immediately and just be with these people for 5 days and be like it were just 15 years ago or 10 years ago even. It's so wild, right? And just be with them and present in the moment. And that was just such a cool way to spend 5 days.
I mean, in some ways, it's so kind of like funny and ironic because these technologies are so new relatively, like within the last 10 years, that like we have to actively try to get away from them.
Yeah, I know. It's so strange.
I do want to wrap up by giving you